so we're live now. And Joe, you rolled a 3, so this is it.
This is Wise and Nerdy, a show where nerding out is cool and solving the problems of the world is a way of life.
Oh, I was supposed to be gone, but I tricked you. I'm back. No, we're learning new things about DragonCon as we go this year, and I was supposed to be there tonight, and I wasn't. So Joe forgot because we had talked about it, but when you talk about making plans for months, like we have Bob McGough on. He's smiling. He's here, and so we made sure that I had replacements and everything else. So we just found out like Sunday, and so that short period of time did not fix the big period of time. And Joe's like, send me a text like, no, I'm the captain now. You jump in. Yeah. So, hey, Joe, how you doing? I haven't seen you in 4 days.
Yeah, it's been so long, so very long. Your wife was getting so tired of me over the weekend.
And Bob McGough is always here to make things better.
Yeah, I haven't seen y'all since Southern Fried Gaming. So excited to be back on.
Always good to have you. And the plan is to have Bob back when Joe is gone so we can talk like adults. I don't know what that means, but we're going to try it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, Joe, what's the question of the week?
The question of the week is, what is your favorite book series? I figured Bob might have some good ones on this one.
My favorite's that one about Redneck Beth Wizards.
Right. No. So this is an easy answer for me. It is the Black Company series by Glenn Cook.
Okay.
It, for those who don't know, it kind of sort of started the grimdark subgenre of fantasy literature. I say kind of. It definitely started the genre, but it's not nearly as grimdark as pretty much anything that came after it. And Glenn Cook is kind of my literary hero, to the point that I almost signed up for a convention this year that I didn't really have a good way of getting to, just because I saw that Glenn Cook was going to be there, and I haven't had the chance to meet him yet. So, but yeah, Black Company series by Glenn Cook. The premise is a mercenary company that gets hired by someone, and only after they've accepted the contract do they realize essentially they got hired by the Dark Lord. So, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Man, I heard he has good benefits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Dark Lords, Ozzy Osbourne died this week.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Hulk Hogan died today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. It's not a
not
a great time to be an
Warner
aging.
died right in between them. You had Ozzy, then you had Malcolm Jamal Warner, and then Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And that's just typical. Hulk Hogan just always copied people in their careers. So, too soon.
Talking about Ozzy, I used to be a stagehand, working concerts, and I had a buddy who he was like he set up the lights so he'd go up in the air. So he worked all over, and he said he worked backstage with Ozzy a few times. And he said that for years, like basically they would have to like herd him to the stage. He was just so out of it. But once he got on stage, it's like
click,
like almost like muscle memory. Like he just would come alive and perform. But then like as soon as he was done, guide him off and kind of just go back to tottering. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So Joe, what's your favorite Black Sabbath song? Book series.
So mine is the Dark Elf Trilogy by R.A. Salvatore, which is the starting trilogy of the Legend of Drizzt, which is like 30 books at this point.
At least 30 books.
I think I've read 24 of them. But it's actually a prequel. So the next trilogy he wrote first, and then he went back and wrote the Dark Elf Trilogy. And it focuses on Drizzt Do'Urden, who is a dark elf, and it's his story of how he overcomes social norms to follow his conscience. And so even though everyone around him is screaming that he should be this way, his conscience is like, no, that's not how things should be. That's not how things. And so he fights against his entire society, and he completely rejects his entire society because his conscience is that strong. And then when he gets to the surface, he has plenty of other things to deal with, because he's a dark elf in a world that associates dark elves with being evil. And so he deals with the racism of his heritage, and so he's constantly needing to prove his character to everyone around him. And it's a very powerful story with a lot of wonderful character development, and it's fantastic.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I had to think about it, and my favorite, it's only 2 books, but that's enough to make it a series. And I thought, because Dennis actually was talking to me about this book a while back, so I thought there's a 3rd one, but according to Amazon, there's only 2 in the series. The first book is called Demon by Daniel Suarez, and it's spelled like a computer demon, Daemon, and it is this fantastic glimpse of what the future could be like, where it starts off, it reads like a movie to me, the way it plays out in the mind, and you see it and you jump around, and I can see kind of in my mind somehow the shots were made and this and that other. But it starts off with this death trigger, basically where this rich guy dies, and a demon goes up, which is demons just a piece of software that'll if this and that trigger, more or less. That's oversimplification for IT people. They're all screaming at me right now. Go look it up. Ask Chad GPT. You'll be fine.
The real demon of the story,
right? When he when he dies, it sends out all these things, and it starts changing the world. Like, it's just releasing secrets and this and that and the other, and ultimately, societies, a lot of sections of society, start breaking away from the norms of international travel and buying and shipping and those kind of things, and start more or less building communities where they are. But of course, it's in a high-tech world, and so they have VR glasses and whatnot, and you can actually, currency more becomes, and we know now in today's world, this would not happen, because the likes and subscribes and all that become currency. The causticness comes out, but in his vision of this world, it became, you're good people because you've been rated high, and bad people get rated low, and you just do good business with good people. And it was very cool. And there's political thriller in it, and there's murder, and there's suspense. And the second one's called Freedom TM, Freedom Trademark, and it finishes up the story. Because if you just read Demon, which I don't know if he had intended 2 books always, or if he did so well with the first one that they were like, hey, write another one. Because if you read just the first one, it's self-contained. You feel like you got a great story. And he did leave it open to the possibilities. And then the second one does come in, and he does just as good in that one, I think.
I think I own this book, but I have not read it.
It
sounds familiar. I'm looking at it, and it's like this seems familiar.
I honestly, I want to buy it on audiobook, and that way I can always go back when I'm doing things and just listen to it again on a trip or something.
Yeah.
I own the paperbacks, and actually my wife found a few more of his books that she bought me that have collected dust, because I haven't made time to. I haven't read it. Man, it sounds so horrible. I haven't read anything in years except for first couple of stories in Southern Saudade. I've gotten that far. So and I bought it a year ago?
Yeah.
I think maybe. So
yeah, you got time.
So what we're really doing is holding out for Bob to just read it to me.
Yeah.
And like every week I get just an MP3 with one story in it, and I get to listen.
It's true. I do need to read some more of this one right here.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's got it. Look now with more curse words.
Yeah.
It's
You buy now, you get bonus curse words.
Yeah. Over 50 new curse words in that edition. So
Joe, you're just being a Hulk Hogan right now, just copying it in.
Wow, what a jerk.
that nice.
No, thank you.
No,
We have some recordings to play for other people's
That's right.
favorite books. So,
My favorite book is The Bad Guys.
oh yeah, and who read that with you?
Mom.
Who else read that with you?
not the mama.
Sam tried to get in.
And did I read it with you too?
Yeah.
Okay, and who read it better, mom or dad?
Joe.
Dad. Or mom or dad.
Oh yeah,
Both.
mom or dad. We both read it really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I think they're coming out with another Bad Guys movie here pretty soon. So
Yeah. Summer.
good stuff. So that's my youngest. That's Jebediah, as Charles likes to call him. And here
I
comes...
only call him by how you introduced him to me at the Dragon Con volunteer thing.
Sure, we'll go with that.
My favorite book series is Percy Jackson because I love Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Then why do you like Percy Jackson? No, sorry. No, so last week Phil called forgetting that we were on air, and he started ragging on Percy Jackson. Sorry.
Yes, he did. So I believe he's on the last book of the first Percy Jackson series at this point. So he's just about done with that first series, and then there's the follow-up series and a bunch of other stuff. But it is a good series. I did like the new Disney Plus season that they did. I'm pretty sure they're working on a season 2. We'll see where it goes. And then here's my oldest.
I don't really know. I have a lot of different favorite books. I like Eragon quite a bit because it's just good.
Yeah, boy.
Eragon is good. And it's even more impressive when you realize that the first book was published when he was like 15, the author. So that's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, he was. It was either published when he was 15 or he started writing it when he was 15. But he published it as a teenager. So
I met someone at Fanboy Knoxville. I'm not going to name drop who they are, but we got to talking, and it was like, oh yeah, no, I know Christopher Piolini, and I know Brandon Mole, and all these other folks. I was like, you want to introduce a brother? I mean, I don't know any of those people, but I'd like to. So,
who's your favorite author, Joe?
The series that I did, or just in general?
No.
Wait.
Your favorite author.
The one that you. I really like.
We're gonna
Brandon
get him on the
Sanderson.
show.
Brandon Sanderson?
That would be great.
Yeah. So
I mean,
so
Bob's
Bob,
already
introduce
here.
us.
Oh yeah. If I knew Brandon Sanderson, I would happily introduce y'all. But I don't know him.
Well,
So,
we'll just have to meet Matt Dinneman, and then we can introduce him to people, right? Isn't that how that works?
yeah. Well, I'll be. He's going to be in our booth at DragonCon. So.
Oh, with you and
Yeah.
Ben, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I did not realize.
Yeah. Where he's going to be doing all his signings through our booth.
Very
So,
cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I had essentially nothing to do with that. I'm just reaping the benefits. So,
I mean, that should pull some foot traffic to you guys. So hopefully that makes it a very profitable con for you.
yeah. Well, I'm actually not going to spend much time in the booth. So this is something I've been struggling with balance at DragonCon. Like, it's been a big thing for me because I want to spend time with my friends and my wife, and I want to sell books, and I want to do panels, and I cannot do all three. I have learned 2 years in a row I have not been able to do all three. And unfortunately, because this is much closer to being my career now, the friends and wife have taken the back seat. So this year I've decided I'm basically not going to do any like official signings in the booth. My books will be for sale in the booth, in the bookstore section, and I may just come fill in a spot. But really, and I'm also doing more panels this year. I think I'm at my limit. I think I'm at 10. So
yes, you are. Because I had to
Yeah.
drop you off on one so you can have a different one. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm at my limit, and so the rest of my time will be spent hanging out with friends and hopefully hanging out with you guys a little bit. And not that y'all won't be super busy. And then spending more time with the wife this year. So, but yeah, I may wander in the booth while Dinnaman's in there. Maybe, I don't know, just maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, roll some dice.
All right. Here we go.
How do I?
Yeah.
And this one is, how do I keep the plot of my book a secret when I want to tell everyone about it? So I've heard this issue many times that authors run into, where they get so excited about their book that they want to tell people, but then when they tell people, some authors find that they get the storytelling out of their system and they're not as excited to put pen to paper. So do you have any advice, Bob, as our resident author?
What I would say fundamentally, you need to understand, and this is going to be harsh, and I'm sorry, but no one gives a shit about your book plot. They just don't. Write the book and they will start to care. But unless it's like a close friend someone that you've just like talking books with and talking book plots and stuff like I have a guy like that. He's not an author, but we talk books all the time. Like, he's someone that I could talk to about it and he'd get it, you know. But 99% of people don't care. They just don't. And you know, they might want to hear like the quick pitch, maybe, but by and large, you'd be surprised how little people care and how quickly they'll get bored with it. And even those of us who do this all the time, I have people come up to the booth and ask questions. And like, I love it when people come up and ask questions. I love to mentor people. I'm very happy to help. But if you just want to come up and tell me the plot of your book, I am sorry. I'm here to try and sell books. I too probably don't want to hear about your book. We just don't. Like, if you have a question about like, hey, look, I've been struggling with this part, let me give you a little background so you can understand what my problem is. Yes, I'd love to hear it then. But fundamentally, I don't want to hear your book plot, because knowing my luck, you're going to come up like, man, I had this great idea for a redneck wizard book. And you'll give me the plot, and I'll be like, well, that was the next book I was going to write. Thanks. Now I can't, that'll be how my luck goes. So yeah, that's step one, is understand that unfortunately no one will be as excited about your book idea as you. And so, but I'd say for those who like, if you get out of your system and then you lose interest in it, I think at that point, maybe writing books isn't for you. There's probably other forms of storytelling that might be a better fit for what you want to do. So maybe look at short stories instead of trying to write novels, or doing a podcast, like maybe a audio drama or something like that. Like, books are not the only way to tell stories. So maybe look at something else, because if telling the plot to someone causes you to lose so much interest in the book that you no longer want to write it, that's going to be the least of your hurdles to finishing a book. I can promise you. So maybe consider doing something else. Because being creative, all forms of creativity are equally valid. Making a movie is no more valid than writing a book, no more valid than writing a song. If you're being creative, you're being an artist, Now, you may be really bad at it, but they're all equally valid forms of creativity. So find the one that's a better fit for what you like to do.
All right, spinoff question.
Yeah.
Have you ever bought a book to support a friend and it was the worst piece of crap ever written? I mean, don't share your names or anything.
Yeah. I did. And I'll say though, it wasn't an author. It wasn't an author friend. I have picked up books from like authors I know. Normally, what happens is an author will want to trade books with me, and I can't remember ever buying a book and being like, "Oh God, this was awful." But I have had some like an author, like, "Ooh, why don't we just trade books?" And I was like, "This is not great." But the only time I've ever left a negative review on a book ever.
Okay, all right.
A friend, to call her a friend would be a stretch. An acquaintance of mine. This is back when I was heavily involved in the music scene. She was also very involved in the music scene, and she got selected to be the cover model for a book. And so I was like, I'll check out the book. It was on Kindle. And it was the worst book I've ever read. It was so bad. And she was so excited about being on that cover. I just didn't have the heart to tell her, like, you don't want to be on the cover of this book. It was bad. And what I came to find out was this guy had two axes to grind. One, he didn't want to write a book. He wanted to write a movie. So it was really written more like a screenplay. I think he took his screenplay and converted it into novel form without really actually doing that. The other thing was he had some bizarre axe to grind with Ohio Underground Wrestling.
Okay.
What a very specific axe.
My gosh. Yeah, I don't think it was actually Ohio, but it was like some Midwestern states underground wrestling, and it was bizarre. It was truly, truly bizarre. Man.
Oh. Now, as another tangent question, before the show, we were talking about how your day job is working at a prison.
Yeah.
And the thought came to me.
Well, to be clear, I don't work at a prison. I work in IT and occasionally have to go to prisons.
Yes, you work with the prison system, but not at the prison normally.
Yeah. Yes.
But have you ever based a character off of stories that you heard of prisoners or that you've seen?
Yes, but it was from a prisoner. I have a cousin that is currently doing time in prison.
Okay.
And so I based a character on him, but that was before I ever started working for corrections. So I wrote that scene probably 6 years ago, and I've only been working here for 2.5 years now, I think. So no, I feel like that wouldn't be super ethical for me to
we all get inspired by what's around us.
Yeah, but also I don't know, to me I would feel weird about doing that. Now if it was just like a coworker, I wouldn't feel as bad about that. But the coworkers choose to work here, the inmates don't. So
how crazy would that be to get a lawsuit from somebody in prison because they think you based the character off of their crime, even though they pled not guilty and fought it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that would be my luck. We have very litigious. We have a very litigious prison system, so that would absolutely be my luck. So I just stay away. I just stay away from that. Also, I just don't want to get fired. I want writing to be my day job, but I want it to be my day job on my terms, not because I wrote some book set in an Alabama prison and the state corrections department fired me because of it. So, yeah.
All right.
Oh, man.
Roll some dice. So, Bob, if you do ever do a live show with this again, just know that we've changed rolling the dice in the live show to throwing it at us as hard as you can. If you hit us, you get bonus points. And Joe ducks, so he cheats.
Shameful.
It's involuntary. If something's coming at your face, you move.
Maybe tough.
What was it?
Daddy, tell me a story.
Wow, Bob just tonight.
Yeah.
So, Daddy Joe, you had some issues this weekend when you came to the Comic-Con. And for our patrons, you're going to get the story a little bit twice because we did tell it at the con, and we're putting out the shows for Patreon very soon. But what happened when you came to Kanye's on Friday?
Oh, man. So I'm about 10 minutes away from your place, driving on I-20, just cruising along, minding my own business, and I glance down and I notice that my check battery light has come on. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, I can, stop by an AutoZone or wherever and get a free check and see what's going on. After I think this, within a minute, my dash lights up like a Christmas tree. And my power steering goes out. And I'm doing 65, 70 on the freeway, no power steering. Stuff's getting weird. I unplug
getting weird.
Stuff's getting weird. I unplugged my phone because the battery was the first thing that indicated there was an issue. So I'm trying to reduce the draw. I turn the air down. I don't turn it off because this is summer in Atlanta. It's way too hot for that. But I turn the air down. I'm trying to reduce the strain on the battery. And I call my wife, and she can tell something's wrong just by the tone of my voice. She's like, "What's going on?"
He sounded like the Judge Doom or whatever from Roger Rabbit. So that's why she could tell that something was off.
Oh yeah. So I explain what's going on. Then I call Charles, and I say, "Hey, is there an AutoZone near your place? Because we always buy our batteries from AutoZone." So he's like, yeah, and he sends me the address. So I pull it up on Google Maps. I head to the AutoZone. I get parked. I go in, ask them to check things out, and they say, "Oh, your battery's dead." I'm like, "Oh, well, that sucks." And they're like, "Oh, but it's under warranty." I'm like, "Oh, great, but not with us." I'm like, "We always get our battery at AutoZone. What do you mean not with you?"
Except
it's like, "Oh
when
no,
you don't."
this is I don't even remember what the other company was, but
Advanced
they're like,
Auto Parts.
Advanced Auto, yeah, Advanced Auto. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm like, do you know where an Advanced Auto is? He's like, I'm new to the area, I have no idea. I'm like, okay, well,
that's
great.
not true. I looked it up for you.
No, you did.
No, that's the kid. Sorry, I thought we were to the part where you asked me.
And so I go
flipped forward in my head.
I go over to my car and I try to start it. It doesn't, nothing. So they jump me and it starts up. And it is, my car at this point is all kinds of jittery. Ironically, though, the check battery light is no longer on. But my car is all kinds of jittery. I make it over to Advanced Auto. I'm crawling through intersections. There's no power behind the gas pedal at all. I make it over to Advanced Auto, and I tell them, I'm like, "Look, I was told my battery's dead. It's under warranty. I'd like you guys to honor the warranty." And they're like, "Okay, well, let us come check it." So they come out and they check it and they're like, "No, your battery's fine." Like, okay. And they even show me the meter that they use, and it showed 60 something percent. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't it start? And if the battery's fine. And so I look at their signage on the wall and it says they do alternator checks for free. So I think, okay, can you check the alternator for me? And the guy's like, "No, we don't do that." I'm like, I'm sitting there. It's literally right behind him, the sign. I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, no, we don't do that." I'm like, okay. And he's just being real short with me. And it's just like, I am bothering him with my patronage of his fine establishment. And so I call Charles. I'm like, "Okay, do you have a mechanic nearby that you recommend?" Because at this point, I need to figure something out.
That's when I was like, "Nah, man, I'm new to the area."
And so Charles sends me another address, a contact for a mechanic nearby, and this time I don't need to be jumped. It starts just fine, but it's still all jittery and no power, and everything is crazy. No power steering, of course, but I make it over to the mechanic, and I go in, And I actually had a printout from AutoZone where they had checked the computer to see what codes it was throwing. And so I was like, here's the codes that I was told it's throwing. And I told my story. They're like, okay, well, we'll take a look at it and we'll get back to you. Like, okay, great. So Charles comes and gets me. And my original plan was to stop by Charles's place, drop off my stuff, and then we could go to the con together. We just load up my stuff into his car and go straight to the con. And we made it there, got our badges, and we had about 15 minutes before my first panel started. And not that this is related to my vehicle, but it's at that point when looking at the schedule that I realized that they made me the moderator of this panel. Well, I had just asked to be placed on the panel. So I'm already super frazzled. Now I'm all of a sudden the moderator. It's great. And I actually checked it, and they did that to me on another panel too.
It gets better. We'll get to that one.
Yeah. But anyway, so in between a couple of panels, they call me and say, okay, we've checked things out. I'm sending you an estimate for the work to do. And ends up being $600 to replace a few parts. And hopefully that fixes all of the issues and I can get home. And so I'm like, okay, well, when can you, when
This is
can
Friday
I get the car
afternoon
back?
at like
Yes,
4
Friday
o'clock
afternoon.
or something. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, I'm not from here. When do you estimate the car will be ready so that, I can go home? Like, oh, Monday. I'm like, okay. All right. So I call my wife or text my wife. I'm like, okay, I don't have any of my work contacts in my phone and I didn't bring my work phone.
There you go.
I get it, Phil. I'm the problem. And so my wife goes to my work phone, gets me my work contact, and I say, look, I need to take PTO Monday. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So that's Friday. Saturday goes off without a hitch. Sunday morning, I get a call from my wife. And she says, and she's freaking out. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, well, I'm driving to church and our van died. I'm like, awesome. Both our cars are dead. Same weekend. Wonderful. So her dad comes and they get a tow truck. That van is sitting in front of our place dead. Which the sad part about the van is 2 weeks ago we put $1,000 into it trying to fix a problem that they never diagnosed. So they never fixed the problem. We spent $1,000 for them not to fix the problem. And now it's completely dead, won't turn over, nothing. But yeah, so my in-laws come in clutch, help my wife get around on Sunday. Monday comes around, and Charles and I are just kind of hanging out and whatnot. And I call them Monday morning. We're like, okay, you guys said it would be done Monday, but you actually didn't tell me a time. So what are you guys estimating here? And so they're like noon, 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. I'm like, all right, awesome. So we go about our day. Charles and I are going out to lunch, and I call him, and I'm like, okay, it's noon. You guys said somewhere around noon to 1. Are we still looking like we're on target for that? And they're like, oh, actually, they've already done the work. They're actually test driving it right now. And like 2 minutes after I hang up, they send me the bill saying, okay, it's done. This is how much it's going to cost. And okay, I'm like, awesome. And so when after lunch, we pick up my car and it drives just like it did before it was having issues. No issues so far. So awesome. Perfect. But also while I'm at Charles's place, I'm calling around to different junk places because we just put $1,000 into our van. It's only worth $2,000 if it was in running conditions. We're like, it's sunk cost. So we're just like, okay. So I call a bunch of junkers, and we're planning on junking it, and we've been doing research on a car to pick up. Luckily, I work from home though, so my wife's just been driving my car around. But man, It was quite the weekend for car trouble. Left, right, up, and down.
The biggest problem Joe had was the junkers kept offering him $666, and he just, with his religion, he couldn't do that. But so Phil actually put something in here. We got to get back to this panel in a second. But yeah, Dennis, Dragon Con Year 1, drove down, and at some point while he's here, either right when they get here, whatever, car, same kind of thing, just wouldn't start, got shot. So Phil, I think two of the guys get on either flights or train or something. Phil ends up getting his own flight, and Dennis stayed here a day or two extra after Dragon Con until his car was fixed. And is at some mechanic in Atlanta, so it's in the middle of nowhere, like in a hood somewhere. He just had it towed to the closest place from wherever they were staying. It's crazy, man. So his transmission went out. Yeah. Yeah.
I had a very exciting. My last con was Fanboy Knoxville, and at 11:18 on Thursday, I got a message from one of the guys who I was sharing a booth with, saying, "Okay, I'm hitting the road." And I was like, "Hitting the road? I thought we were loading in on Friday." He's like, "No, you can't. Did you not get the email? You cannot load in on Friday."
Oh
no.
I had to I was across the street at lunch, like told the guy I was having lunch with, like, I gotta go. Ran back to my office, told my boss, I'm out. I'll put in leave when I get back. Drove home, frantically just threw stuff in the truck, and made it to Knoxville with 17 minutes to spare.
Wow. Because if you hadn't made it at that time, then no load in.
I could not have loaded in. No.
You'd have been locked out. Wow.
Yeah. They were not allowing load in on Friday morning. So.
And they shut down at a hard stop time. What, 5 p.m., 6 p.m.?
7 their time, which would be 7 y'all's time, but 6 my time. So, and now once I was there, I had an hour. Like, basically, they closed the loading dock at 7, but they were staying open till 8. But if your stuff was in there, that's all that mattered. So I just got my stuff in there, and then I didn't bother setting up. I was like, I'll just come back in the morning and set up, and then we went and found a barbecue place. So
crazy. So yeah, Joe found out he's a moderator on the Chronicles of Narnia panel, and him and a lady talked about Chronicles of Narnia, which she was the greatest panelist ever with her 3-word answers for everything, or just yes or no's.
Yep.
Joe did phenomenal work. He did. He kept all these years of podcasting came out at him. He kept it going. And then was it that same day or was it Saturday? No, it's the same day.
Same day.
He did a Tron panel and showed up, and they tried to make him moderator on that one, and there was like 10 people in the room, 10, 20, 12, something like that.
Yeah.
And then what happened, Joe?
And there was supposed to be one other person on the panel who I assume is the one that put in the panel. Yes, random kid. Someone put a voodoo curse on me. He never showed. And I looked back in the schedule. He was double booked. And he decided that the panel that had 5 people on it was more important than the panel that had 2 people on it. So I was by myself for the Tron panel that I did not suggest. All of these panels were ones that I said, can I hop on this already existing panel? So I'm falsely assumed, how dare I, that I would be an additional panelist instead of, the panel moderator. And so I sent an email after the fact to the contact that had been contacting us the entire time, and I focused it as feedback on the con itself, that in the future, if someone is and I said I recognize I should have looked at it, because all I had done was look at the summary of the panels that I was on. I didn't look at the descriptions after the fact. I looked at the descriptions when I was asking to be on them. I didn't look at them after the fact. And on the summary, it doesn't say who's the moderator. You have to actually dive into the description.
Okay.
And so I said, what would be nice in the future is if someone who did not submit the panel is made the panel moderator, you might want to communicate that to them. And then I had a couple other tidbits of feedback to offer as well. And I broke it down by panel, just explaining how things went and whatnot, and also let him know that the one person was a no-show, that he was double booked. But yeah, so I provided feedback.
And to be fair to the con, as far as the programming went, they sent out plenty of emails communicating these are the panels. And for the people who are double booked, they said, hey, double check, make sure it's right. If you put it in, make sure your description's right, your title's right. So they asked us as the creators to do our due diligence. And not everybody plays on the wise and nerdy level. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I got asked, I got emailed about it, and the vibe I got was one, I really like that they are putting a lot more emphasis on panels at that convention, but it seems like it's just one person basically running
Yeah, it is.
all the tracks, and it's like that's a lot to keep straight.
I think he's
Yeah.
running all the programming because he was also my contact for the moderation with the celebrities as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
we'll see. We'll see.
yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Now I will say Joe drove me nuts Saturday because he came in. We got everyone's like, "Yeah, man, I've already sent the emails." Like, why would you do that? He's, well, I had some feedback to give him. Like, Joe, it's second day of con. Why are you? Well, he wrote back quickly like, Joe, it's second day of con. Why would you send that to him right now? Wait
And
till
if he
Monday.
didn't have time, he could wait.
No, Joe, that's not how it goes. Be a human being, Joe. Understand that everybody's spending his time and peeing in his coffee, and it's not good for us, Joe. Wait till Monday.
But I clearly put in the subject that it was feedback, meaning
You're
that
so
it was
autistic.
not urgent. So he could have waited until Monday.
I personally wait. I give a thank you at the end of the con, and then if I had any issues, I wait till a day or two after con to send it. That's just me. I think that's just the human in me coming out.
I personally don't see an issue with it. Well,
Obviously, you don't see an
Bob,
issue with it.
which way do you lean on this one? Should I have waited, or was what I did acceptable?
I almost never send negative email feedback because your boy doesn't want a paper trail. Most of the time, I know these people, so I could talk to them. Like if I had a problem with a panelist or something like that, I normally I'll catch them at the next con and I'll just talk to them there. That's typically my if they send a survey out, which I'm surprised more cons don't do. I get
Yeah.
it's a lot, and I do it on the events that I run, and I get it. It turns into an angsty ball of oh god, I don't want to open these survey results, but I don't know. Those I will fill out. Anytime someone sends me a survey, I'll fill them out. I used to give surveys for 6 terrible months of my life. So, but other than that, I just don't. I send thank yous pretty much any con. I send a thank you afterwards, but it's rare for me to. It has to be bad for me to bring it up, just because I don't want them to forward that to someone that I don't know, and they don't know how I talk, basically.
Well, yeah, that is fair, because written form does not. It has a lot of the reader pushing the emotions onto that, and so they could read it in a very different tone than you intended.
Yeah, and my tone is typically charming British gentleman. Lots of cheers at the end of it and stuff like that. And I don't know that comes across always. So
I don't. So I read your newsletter recently, and I don't remember what you wrote, but there's something about it. I was like, man, that's so Bob. It was hilarious. It made me laugh. I could just hear you saying it. It was like,
Yeah.
I get it.
The style of writing I enjoy the most with like I almost feel like I missed my calling as like a Louis Grizzard type.
Oh yeah.
I could like Southern humorist kind of deal.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that style of writing, but man, you think it's hard to market Meth Wizard books? Start trying to market Southern humorist books. I bet you that's a romp.
Roll that dice, Joseph.
Man.
My dearest Josephine, why have you written me in the middle of this civil war of condom?
Snake eyes.
What are you nerding about?
That's right. Don't ever change. What are you nerding about is how we're going to always say it. I love it. Joe, you have brought back the Guess the Anime title here. So the title you wrote is the fragrant flower blooms with dignity. Now this I had to look up because I really want to have some armor. So it's actually titled The Exploding Cheese Roller Coaster Mango Symphony, which is a deep meditation on intergalactic sushi etiquette. The main character is a sentient orchid who enters competitive hula hoop tournament on the moon. Each episode opens with a sonnet about the beauty of overcooked broccoli, either version of broccoli that you think. The dignified blooms are actually sentient donuts that recite opera and binary code. And it concludes with a massive dance number featuring octopus butlers and top hats. So why would you watch this anime? I don't get it.
Did you feed that into ChatGPT?
Don't ruin my jokes. Just answer the question.
All right, so that's Charles's guess on what the anime is. Did you want to make a guess, Bob, based on the title about what the anime is about?
What's the title again?
The real title is The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity.
No.
he doesn't want a digital paper trail either.
No.
He does not need this clip forwarded on to the Department of Corrections.
Well, I'm good. No one needs to hear my guesses on that one.
I mean, I think you went where I went, Bob. That's why I had Chad, my assistant, give me a good description.
So, what it actually is, it's a romance anime about some, I guess, star-crossed lovers. So the two main characters, they go to school in schools that are right next door to each other. One is an all-boys school, one is an all-girls school. The all-girls school is a prestigious elite school. The boys' school is for the rejects and the troubled teenagers. And the main characters meet at. So the boy goes to obviously the troubled school. They meet at the boy's family's cake shop. They sell all kinds of different cakes and desserts. Dessert shop, and she absolutely loves eating desserts. And they spark a friendship, but they kind of sort of have to keep it a secret because the boys and the girls at the various schools hate each other. Just absolutely hate each other. But it's been super cute so far. It's got 3 or 4 episodes out so far. It's a new anime this season. And as far as I don't watch a lot of romance animes, but I saw some clips on Facebook for this one. I was like, let's give that a try, and I'm liking it quite a bit. I've seen a few people say that this will be the standout romantic anime for this season, and might even be the best romantic anime this year. So I could see it. So far, it's really good. I'm liking it.
You did not give anything that took away the bad thoughts.
I now kind of want to see Charles' anime though.
I kind of do too. I think so
mine
good.
doesn't have nearly enough hula hooping in space.
Yeah.
I'm
here for it.
They don't run. It doesn't. They don't run a sushi shop, so there's that. But I'm gonna clip this, and I'm gonna have fun putting this on TikTok. I tell you that right now. My nerding out is I'm really, really enjoying being back doing caffeinations, which is motivational quotes about coffee. And so I take a quote a day and change something out and make it about coffee. And I'm playing with angles and attitudes, and I'm drinking my coffee, and I'm just having lots of fun with it. So that's on all the channels. It's on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. So I'm having fun with that. And in telling the story about that, before or right at the beginning of Be Awesome Together, we had I had Josh from Uploads of Fun on. Apparently, he's a huge coffee connoisseur. So the beginning of that show, instead of being just a quick little setup, because I was saying that too, is like, well, I'm kind of nerding out about this. We don't do nerding out. We talk about what's happy on your metaphorical shelf, because we do this shelf watch behind Tyra where it's supposed to get remodeled and it hasn't been remodeled for like a year. And so we make it both about the literal and metaphorical shelf. So anyway, I was talking about that. And he's like, "Oh, what's your favorite coffee?" So we spent like 20 minutes at the beginning of that show talking coffee, and it's so cool. So I think I might have made a new friend. Josh is fun. But Bob, how do you feel about coffee? Because I know how Joe feels. He's a heathen. But how do you feel?
I'm a similar heathen. I've never had coffee. I was raised Mormon.
But so you never tried
it. I started drinking booze at 14. At 14, so I decided early on that
was just went straight to
yeah. I decided booze was vice enough for me. But funny you should say that. I got a coworker. He's a good friend of mine that he is likewise obsessed with coffee, and he was sitting there telling me about how he's got this like super fancy like espresso machine at home, and how he was buying. Basically, he bought a tablet because he was got some features that is now going to be run on like a tablet. Anyway, he's like, yeah, by the time all said and done, this espresso machine is going to cost me about $1,000. Yeah. And I was like, man, that's crazy. And then like without thinking about it or anything, he's like, yeah, Chris has kind of got that, another one of our coworkers, he's got that Nespresso machine over there. But I kind of think about bringing mine up here. But man, those Nespresso pods are just so expensive. I was like, oh, are they? He's like, yeah, they're just way too expensive. Like, and how much was the espresso machine that you made? He's like, oh, $1,000. Like, but the pods, those are too expensive. He's like,
I see what you did there.
Yeah. So sometimes there's some cognitive dissonance in the hallways of the IT department.
That's so Bob, what are you nerding out about?
Me and the lady wife finished watching season 19 of Taskmaster, which is our favorite show, I think, between the two of us. So
now, where do you watch it?
YouTube.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. So that's actually got me into using YouTube a lot. Yeah, it's the only place I could find where I could watch the episodes.
They put every episode of every season on there, and then on top of that, they have all these like all these outtake videos. They bring back former contestants to be like, "Ooh, make your favorite episode of like all your favorite tasks and give us the behind the scenes on it." And then they also have like, because Taskmaster is now in like 30 different countries. They've licensed it out, but like you can watch Taskmaster New Zealand, Taskmaster Australia, stuff like that. But the most recent season was good. It featured the first American contestant, because it's a British show for those who don't know. And Jason Mantzoukas was the Zook was.
Go Google him. He's safe to Google. Go look him up. You'll recognize his voice. I guarantee you. No matter
if you've watched The League,
heard something.
If you've watched The League, or if you've watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he's on there as well. He's on some other stuff, but those are the two things I knew him from.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he's the bomb expert, right?
Yeah, he's like the crazy, like
he's always crazy.
Oh yeah, and he brings that kind of mayhem energy to Taskmaster. And I actually learned, so he begged to be put on the show, so much so that he paid for his flight, all his travel expenses. Yeah, he paid out of pocket to be on the show.
That's
like, I'm sure they paid him, but he paid for his flights. He paid for where he stayed. And as you watch it, you see that he ends up like destroying a lot of the set as it goes on, and my wife's like, I just don't like that. I think it's just like everyone's gonna be like, ugh, Americans, But I learned he was the last contestant to be filmed, and he asked ahead of time. He's like, since there's no one after me, can I just like destroy the set as I go? And they were like, yeah, do it. So he brought a different sort of energy to season 19, and it was a really good season.
Because everybody worked well together. So, Joe, do you know what Taskmaster is?
I've never watched it. I was Googling pictures of it just now.
Oh, okay, it's so good.
It is on the surface, the Taskmaster gives tasks to these contestants, and they're filmed trying to do these crazy solve these puzzles and figure these riddles out and do all this fun stuff, whatever. And they have a certain amount of time to do it in. And they can figure out how to do it. That's the surface. The reality is they're all comedians. The host is a famous English comedian. His co-host is a famous English comedian, comedic writer. Little Axe Horn. And then they're always British comedians. And then also the entire thing is basically filmed in a day. So all 8, 9, 10 episodes or whatever, they just go task to task to task to task all day. Okay. But then they spread it out weekly, and then they come back. So they film all the tasks in one day, and then they come back and film all the episodes in studio in a day or two. And it's pretty intense once you realize how they film it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's hilarious.
It's so good. I love it. And it's they start every episode with a prize task. And what it is they pick some weird thing like bring in the best round item. And each of the 5 contestants has to bring in something that fits that episode's theme. And whoever gets the most points over the course of that episode gets to keep all 5 items. So sometimes they're really good. Like one guy put his wedding ring up in the early season. One season, someone like put up like a plane tickets to Germany or something like that. But then sometimes it like we're rewatching one of the seasons and someone brought in a poo in a mold. So it can some of the prizes you really want, some of them you really don't. So it gets wild. It gets wild. So yeah, I love it. And there's plenty to dig your teeth into. And it's all on YouTube. So
okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, not kid friendly. Not kid friendly. Just a heads up.
Yeah, typically.
All right. I know my boys are watching. You're not allowed to watch it.
YouTube.com/Taskmaster. Go now before Dad comes upstairs. So I'll keep him talking, boys. You'll get at least through 2 episodes before he gets up there. I don't know if more than one track is doing it, but I believe the science track always does a Taskmaster panel where it's like it's
Brit
the
track.
Game, I do believe.
Brit track
does it.
Yeah, because I went to it last year. It's like, and they do
Of
it like
course,
late.
that would make sense to be on the Brit track, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Brit track and it's Dragon Con After Dark. So because there's cussing and I mean nothing like over the top, but it's definitely they do it like 10 o'clock at night. So
yeah,
we went last year and it was a lot of fun. So yeah.
All right, Joseph, roll the dice.
Have we? I think we've done those.
We're down to
your favorite.
Is that what?
Waka waka, bad dad jokes.
Bring them out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth.
All right, I can take it. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh man.
So my pet pig lost his voice. He's disgruntled.
Oh man. This one comes to us from Devo site in chat. It says, "When I die, I want to go peacefully like my grandfather did in his sleep. and not screaming like the people riding with him.
Yeah, I love that one. I've used that one a few times. That's not really a bad dad joke. That's really a dark dad joke if you think about it.
We do you know what going on the pig thing? Do you know what the difference between swine flu and bird flu is?
What?
No.
One gets a tweetment and one gets a ointment.
I don't understand how you can be so brilliant in so many areas of your life, Bob, and yet here it's so painful. Oh, by the way, this is the segment to tell this. For those at home who don't know, I got to moderate some celebrities. And the first day I got to do Cobra Kai and got to meet Martin Cove, who is John Kreese, and then got to meet the main kids from the show. It was fun. And then the next day, I was texting Bob about something. I don't remember what. And I'm like, hey, if you could ever ask Lou Diamond Phillips and Kiefer Sutherland a question, what would it be? And he texted back, what's the worst pun made with their names? And like, I hate you so much. He goes, yeah, that's my thing, friendship through pain. I asked them, that was the opening question. I asked them the question. And Kiefer went through Reefer, which I already know. He told that story and this and that. But he also got around to Keister, and Lou Diamond lost it. He goes, oh, I'm going to call you Keister from now on. So there you go, Bob. You made an impact in somebody's life.
Glad that paid off.
So. with Keister Sutherland.
So I guess that question was a real diamond in the rough.
Oh. Why are you so fast at that? That shouldn't be. So,
it was a good one.
Are we done? Are we good here?
Well, we'll have mercy on you. We can stop it there.
We really should do commercial break, don't you think? And not end with. All right.
Fine, we can do commercial break if you must.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of dumb to end with it. Not that one. So, hey, everybody, come support us. Look, patreon.com/wise_n_nerdy. We need to feel some love, man. We got a lot of good plans for 2026. We want to go places, do things as far as not like vacations and travel, but to be more live in live events. We had a really great live event this last weekend in Atlanta and had some fans come out and meet us, which was really cool. It's a lot of fun. So we want to bring more to you, do more in the entertainment world. Help a brother out. Call your Uncle Daddy and do patreon.com/wise_n_nerdy, or also call your daddy at wiseandnerdy.com/call-dad and get your voice on the show. It's really a blast. We love hearing from you. Even if it's a bad dad joke, I only hate you for a little bit. And then go to Tales by Bob, talesbybob.com, and find out where Bob's going to be in the world. It's the only legal stalking you can get away with. And if you mention Wise and Nerdy, he'll sign your book for free. So there's you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this one. I like this too. We haven't played that in a while.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff. I wonder what old Casey J is up to. I just wanted to say that so he'll listen to us. He'll listen to us and get into the Discord and talk. Him and Full Run Through like to talk a lot to each other.
Yeah, they were writing a lot during the convention about a bunch of different things. I still need to go back through and read it because they wrote some novels there.
I'm going to win the lottery one day, and then we'll fly Casey to Dragon Con. We're going to take care of it. He's in Australia, so it's probably the most difficult fan meetup to work out ever.
Yeah.
All right.
My best friend lives in New Zealand, so maybe they can go halvesies on a flight. I think that works, right?
That's how it works. That's exactly how it works.
Just got to sit in each other's lap the whole time.
So we're getting to the Parliament of Papas, and I'm gonna let Joe set this up. This one's his, but I was on some kind of Reddit roll the other day, and in our tabs there, Joe, in our Parliament, I threw in 2 or 3 more Am I the Butt Face ones that I found that I thought would work here. So what do you got, sir?
All right. Am I the butt face for telling my girlfriend that she should stop chasing the dream of becoming a writer.
Ooh. All right. Hit it.
With Bob here, I thought this would be a great one to talk about. All right. So this comes to us from Redditor Connect Prune 2718.
Okay.
Yep. My girlfriend has always wanted to be a writer. She's been working on different projects for years, and she has never been published. The thing is that I think that she is not a good writer. She's not awful, but she doesn't have anything special. She's spending all her savings. She inherited a little bit of money after her mom died. She doesn't want to have to work, and I don't know what she's going to do when she runs out of money. Yesterday, she came crying home because she had a meeting with an agent and he rejected her. And I told her that maybe she should start thinking about another career and that this dream is killing her. I also told her that she has to realize that even if she becomes a published author, she's probably not going to make enough money to become a full-time one. She was so mad at me. She told me that I was not being a good boyfriend. Am I the butt face?
Man, we're missing a lot of context there. I want to throw my 2 cents real quick because I'm sure Bob's got a lot to say on this one. But my first, why would you tell her one rejection and you're knocking her down? But then also, from what I've heard, not necessarily wrong. Being a published author doesn't mean you can do it full time. But what is it? What is special? Right? She's okay, but nothing special. It's like you're one opinion. Two, we're missing so much here. Anyway, Bob, is he the butt face?
Yeah. Well, I mean, take my writeriness out of this. Like, support your significant other. Be supportive. Like, yeah, you can be supportive and still be realistic. That's not what this felt like.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is some missing context here. Like, if she's writing romance, that's a lot different than if she's writing Meth Wizard books. One is a much easier path to prosperity than another. But
it's
no,
more of a niche,
Yeah,
you could really market.
Yeah,
Wildflower Blooms and Meth is the next anime. Come on.
There we go. But he is right. If she's meeting with an agent, she's trying to get traditionally published. That was the one thing. He's like, well, she hasn't been published yet. Well, if she doesn't have an agent and she's going traditionally published, that's why she's not published. It's not that her stuff isn't good enough or anything. It's that she hasn't got an agent. Now, the reason she doesn't have an agent may be because she's not good enough. I don't know. But
how hard is it to get those meetings, though?
To get a meeting?
Well, that's what it sounded like. He's like, she met with an agent and rejected her.
So I have met with agents in the past, but typically I paid for that. It's
okay.
Okay. They have these early on when I was trying to get traditionally published. They have these like writing workshops that you can go to. And like they provide a bunch of classes and stuff like that, like how to write query letters and things like that. But then you can pay extra to get FaceTime with an agent. And I did that 3 times, I think. And I got request for oh, hey, your pitch sounded cool. See with the first 10 pages or whatever. So if it was something like that. Well, okay, she paid to be there. But I mean, I don't know anyone who just like meets with agents unless like if you're at a con, there'll be agents at a con and you might get lucky and get to pitch to them there or something like that. But yeah. The fact that she had a meeting with an agent is unusual and could be a good thing or it could just be blind luck. You just never know. But
and so there was a rejection, but
but that's the thing is like publishing is rejection. It's turtles all the way down. Rejection built on rejection built on rejection. Unless you're, that, 1 in a million super lucky person. So yeah, you need to develop a thick skin pretty quickly. But the other thing I would say is like, does he even read the genre that she writes? If she's writing romance and he only reads R.A. Salvatore novels, that's not a good fit. She might write the best romance the world has ever seen, and he just doesn't get it because he doesn't get the nuance of romance. And that's just like good advice all around. If you're wanting to be an author, is only take advice from, like, if you get your friends and family to read it, make sure that they actually read the genre before you ascribe a lot of weight to their opinion. Because my stepmom doesn't read much gritty urban fantasy, so she doesn't know the tropes. So if she comes in and is like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever," it's like, "Well, thank you for being sweet," but I'm not going to weigh that as heavily as, if one of my author friends who does write urban fantasy, "Oh, dude, this was really good." Yeah, I'll weigh that a little more heavily. So, yeah, but yes, he is a butt face. Be supportive. I'm very lucky. My lady wife is super supportive, and I would not be nearly as far along in my career as I am without her support. So,
yeah, she looks you dead in the eyes like, "I'm the only one who makes you cry. You don't go talk to them anymore, Bobby."
Right. I'm the captain now,
and I'm assuming he's had this conversation with her before. He doesn't say that in this, but if he hasn't, and the first time he's brought it up that she needs to be realistic is right after this rejection where she's crying.
Yeah,
like,
choose your moment.
Timing, my man, timing.
Yeah.
And so,
and it's killing her. He didn't say anything other than she's gone through her savings. I mean,
exactly.
What do you mean it's killing her?
And she doesn't have to give up on her dream. She can still get a job without giving up on her dream, which sounds like she does need to go that route. She's going to run out of money. It does sound like she needs to get a job.
I mean, if he wants her to be a trad wife, he needs to be a trad husband and just pay all her bills. That's how that works,
man. So that she can get trad published?
Hey!
Yeah! Look what you did, Joey.
There we go.
But yeah, no, I would label him the butt face in this scenario because timing, tact, all of that. Like,
I also can't help but wonder, is there some jealousy here that she's not spending that inherited money on him? Is that a factor in this? Has he been having some lingering resentment? Like, she inherited all this money, and if she had a job, we could use this money to go on trips.
And it could be fun money instead of survival money.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
So it sounds like we've all labeled him the butt face, but Reddit did not.
Really?
Reddit said he is not the butt face. The top comments here.
I'm sorry, this feels like a Jerry Springer moment, Joe. Like,
yeah.
But our results say.
Reddit's wrong a lot of times. But the top comment here says, "This is touchy. It's all in the way you say it," and provides some examples. So the first one is, "Go get a real job. Becoming a published author is just a pipe dream." That's a no. Do not do that. The example of what to do is, "Honey, you know that even once you start getting published, it's still a long, difficult road. And most authors can't make a living off their writing alone. Maybe you should think about other work you can manage that won't interfere, maybe even part-time or something." And so they go on to say, "Just be absolutely sure you're in the second supportive camp. I know someone who was published, blah, 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 blah." So
this is getting my blood pressure up, man.
So it's all about how you go about it. And we don't have verbatim what he went about, but the fact that he's saying, "Hey, give up on your dream" while she's crying,
That's-
that in itself
Yes.
makes
Well,
it.
and you also know he's going to put it in the best possible light.
Yes.
You know, he's not.
And even in the best possible light, in my book, he's coming off the butt face.
You know, and again, context, everything, whatever. But in that timing that he wrote, no, all you say is, "I'm sorry, babe, that sucks." And then as the emotions come back, maybe you can have that secondary conversation of I'm with Bob, be supportive. But man, that tone, Joe, you put on that tone with the, well, you know, oh my God, is all I can do just to not strangle Reddit right now. Because that's exactly it. And I'm like,
Well,
ah.
this also reads as someone who's not a creative type.
Yes.
And then with his opinions, he feels like he just doesn't really get it. And that top response, for all I know, that's some other not creative type. And then the three of us who are much more in the creative camp, we're all like, the heck with you.
Yeah. It's I will say, when I was first podcasting, my wife did not understand it. And we had fights about certain things that it would be involved in, and not about it so much, but involved in it. And I hit a milestone and threw a party, and people actually, oddly enough, flew in for the party and had a house full of people just for my podcast and having fun with it. And my wife was like, "Oh, okay. So, you get it now?" She, "No, but they're all nerds, so it doesn't really matter. It's fine." But I don't know what she had pictured before, but all the podcast nerds that showed up, was like, "Oh yeah, no, there's nothing to worry about here." I'm like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nerds. I do want to ask this before we get out of here, Bob. With the rejection train, did it ever like bring you to tears when you were trying to get stuff written? Like any of the feedback or the saying no, we're not going to publish it?
Never brought me to tears. I did have a realization. So I saved. I took pictures. Like what I would do is I printed out rejections and would tack them up on my wall.
Okay.
And then I started out doing short stories, trying to get them in anthologies. And then as I started getting like personalized rejections, those would go the next tier up. And then when I started getting acceptances, those were the highest tier. So it made a very fat-bottomed pyramid. And I was organizing my files, and I stumbled on where I took a picture of like all those printouts, and I was looking at this rejection, and it wrecked me at the time. They were just so harsh. Like it was personalized harshness. Like they savaged me. But as I was going back and rereading it, I was like, wait a minute. This person is like pitching me like they're like in my, at this point I'd been published a little bit, and so I included like my other publications, which had been in like school lit journals and stuff like that. And this was a horror short story, and she was just savaging me. It's like, publishing in lit journals doesn't translate to this, and blah 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 blah. And you need to go pick up my book about like basically how to be a better writer. And at the time, it wrecked me. Now looking back, it's like, wait a minute, that seems kind of sketchy. Like, who rejects someone harshly and is like, go buy my book? I looked her up. I looked her up, which I didn't do back then, and I did now. I was like, oh my God, like, all her books are awful. And so it's like, I let this person like destroy me, and not to tears, but like, I was just like, oh God, what am I doing here? This story's awful, I guess. Without doing my due diligence to figure out, do I even need to listen to this person? Turns out I didn't. Yeah. So
glad you didn't.
Yeah.
So tell everybody one more. Oh, sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
I was just going to pipe in. Anyone who's looking to get into publishing, expect to be rejected a lot of times before you get accepted. I read an article. Regardless of your feelings about J.K. Rowling, she is a financial success as an author, and her first book was rejected only 12 times, which And I say only because
That's really low.
authors get a lot of rejections before anything ever gets accepted. And so being an author, especially if you're going the traditional publishing route, is not for the faint of heart. It will require a lot of perseverance.
Yeah. You're going to get told no a lot unless you're very, very, very good or very, very, very lucky. So,
yep.
So where can we get lucky finding you, Bob?
talesbybob.com for all things me. Tales by Bob.
Do you do something that could just get into my email inbox from day to day? Not day to day, but
yeah, once a month. If you go to my website, talesbybob.com, and you scroll down a little bit, there's a sign up for my newsletter, and I send that out once a month. And I just do lots of cool stuff on my website. Cool if you like writer type stuff, I guess. But like I do, transparency posts where I talk about, all the conventions I do in granular detail, how much I made there, how much I cost me to be there. I do recap posts every month where I talk about my sales and social media growth, things like that. I also have a Patreon. And then I also do podcasting. I run a small nonprofit. I do indie game design. I do all these things, and Tales by Bob will link you to whatever tickles your pickle the most. So.
Joe, where can they find you on the web?
You can head on over to linktree/Joseph_Ard. I do have several things in the works that I am planning on posting to my Assorted Geekdom YouTube channel. So, and by in the works, it's probably another couple months out, to be completely blunt, but it's there. There is some content there already if you wanted to go and watch some of my older stuff.
And you can find myself. Linktree is RGOP42 for I Got Out Podcasting, and 42 is a life answer to life universe and everything. And I'm just trying to put out some daily videos that are short form and having fun with it. And pretty soon I'll have some stories to tell about my next adventures, but they're not here yet. So until next time, listen to your daddies. We're always right, even when mommy reads it better.
Follow these nerdy dads on social media. Charles at Rock God of Podcasting. Joe at Joseph_Ard. Check out the website wiseandnerdy.com. And as always, they may not be your father, but they'll always be your daddy.
Shut up, Mike.
Oh, unnecessary censorship's going to be the best.